In this video, I'm going to do a quick comparison between the Thermapen MK4 and two ThermoPro pens and see how they stack up. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. Who's smoking? I am Kevin Hood. It's this like little handheld. Feel free to click on this video right here. Kind of a distance here, right? To kind of push it up, and it brings it up so it's out of sight of the camera lens. So I've got three thermometer pens here, and for those of you who are maybe looking at this and wondering which one to get, or looking to buy a gift for somebody, I'm gonna say this. I'm a middle of the road kind of person. I like to see good features and good value and all that stuff wrapped up into one. So there is a reason why this ThermoPro TP19 is stacked right here in the middle. But I'll say this, and I'm going to start actually from the most expensive down to the cheapest. Those of you who have watched videos of pit masters and professional chefs and all these other things, you know what this is. This is the Thermoworks MK4, the creme de la creme, the one that's always sought after. All the cool kids are using it. And if you're looking to buy someone a gift of a thermometer pen and you're thinking, you know, what's something that says, I appreciate you, I love you, I think you're the greatest and you deserve the best, it's this one. This comes in at a healthy $100. So $99. If you go to the Thermoworks website, that's where you'll see it. There's accessories you can get with it, mainly the silicone boot, which I'll talk about here in a second. But for $100, you're getting a very well-built, very smooth thermometer pen. And as you're using this, I don't know if you saw that. It's smooth, okay? It's very smooth, it feels well built, feels good in the hand. It's got an IP67 rating, so therefore if you're washing it, if you get some sauces on it, all that good stuff, don't even worry about it. Batteries built in, or not built in, but you have a cap right there that you just, put your batteries in there. I believe the rating for battery is like 3,000 hours of usage, which is pretty dang awesome. As soon as you plug this into a piece of meat, you're gonna get a reading within 2 to 3 seconds. If you have this thing plugged in this way into that piece of meat or this way, that display will flip as well. I mean, all the cool gadgets, or all the cool features I should say, are all found right here. They also claim that it can get an accuracy reading of, I think it's plus or minus 0.7 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's really, really, really good. Does it live up to the hype? I've only had this thing for less than 6 months, and I will say it's very smooth, it's very easy to use. So far it's been very accurate and reliable. And just having a handful of other Thermoworks products, I know that their customer service is really good. So whether you're using their chat function, their email or phone call, if you have a problem with one of their products, they do stand behind it. The last one, or the last issue I had with one of their, with the Signals unit, actually they just ended up just shipping me a brand new one, which is phenomenal. So anyhow, so there's your Thermapen. Now, this one, I don't know if this will actually pick up in the cameras here, but it's a little bit more beat up because I've had this thing for about 2 years. Now, I knew about the Thermapens 2 years ago, but here's the thing. This one seemed to do almost everything on paper that the Thermapen also does. So for example, when I pull this thing out, not as smooth, but it feels pretty substantial. Now if you notice, the moment I open this up, it's got a bright red display, and if I flip it over, it does the same thing as the Thermapen does, right? So whether I'm using it like this or I'm using it with my left hand, it's giving me that rating either way. And again, I do kind of like how actually it does have a little bit more resistance when I'm doing this, because I feel like I can just, dial it in a little bit better. It's got this big old lock button on the front, so I can lock that temperature. As soon as I check it, I can bring it back over and look at it. On the back side, instead of having the battery cover on the bottom, they put it right here on the back there. This one, I could not find a water resistance rating, but just says 100% waterproof, right? So hey, I'll go with that. And also, it claims to be able to read the temperature within 2 to 3 seconds. However, the accuracy of this one is a little less than this one. Is that the right way to say it? A little less, a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little less accurate. This one, the MK4, was 0.7 degrees Fahrenheit. This is 0.9. I'm not a professional chef. I'm not a pit master or whatever it is. So obviously you can see so far why I'm like looking at this thing like, wait, why would I buy a Thermapen? Right, so all of these different types of features I just mentioned, are very similar to what we have in the Thermapen, but this one comes in at 30 bucks. So less than a third of the price of a Thermapen, I get something like this. Now, in addition to all the features I just mentioned, this thing also has like a little loop. Have never used it, but it's advertised as a good way to kind of hook it on with the rest of your kitchen gadgets. But the feature that I do really like about this one is the fact that there's a magnet built into the back of this. So I can just go ahead and put that against one of our appliances, a refrigerator, or when I'm out in the backyard, I can actually clip this onto a cool spot of a grill or a kitchen table that I have. So I found that to be very, very helpful. Now, it doesn't feel as substantial. It doesn't feel as well built. It definitely feels more plasticky. But again, over the last 2 years, I've had really good experiences with this thing. So this is the ThermoPro TP19, and it is currently 30 bucks, I think retail and on Amazon. So you have these two now. I recently picked this up. It seemed very similar on paper to the other ThermoPro that I have. This is not the TP19, but the TP19H. Now, coming at you with a bigger loop. It has a magnet on the back side, and it has like a light button and the lock button on the front. Right off the bat though, now if you're looking for a workout, this one might be the one you want to get. So this one is going to be a little bit more stiffer. It feels way cheaper on the build, but look, the moment I flip open this probe, the display comes on. It also does this cool like ambidextrous like flippy thing, right, which I really appreciate. The accuracy is actually on par with this one, so also 0.9 plus or minus degrees Fahrenheit. So stats wise, it's very similar to this one. This one does have an IP65 rating. The battery cover is over here. Did I mention the magnet? Yes. The loop? Yes. The display? Yes. So all of those things seem to check out pretty similarly, except this one, I think on paper says it can take up to 3 to 4 seconds to get a proper reading, whereas the other two that we've gone through so far can do it in 2 to 3 seconds. Is that a really big deal for you? For me? I try and keep, at least when I'm smoking meat or whatever, I'm trying to keep that cooking chamber open for the shortest amount of time possible. But like 1 to 2 seconds, I don't know. But anyhow, when you open this thing up, you've got this like light feature, right? So instead of it being automatic all the time, you can just do that. You can also lock it. And this thing comes in, I think retail at $20. Currently it's on Amazon for $16. So that's why I want to just try it, and I would just have an extra one lying around in the kitchen. So here we are, folks. We've got our 3 right over here. Again, I'm not here to tell you, one is definitely hands down better than the other. The gold standard is going to be your Thermapen. But for me, everyday usage, this has held up just fine. But wait, before you leave, let's talk about one more thing. Because I've listed now the fact that all 3 of these, I didn't list, did I say all this? I mean, these things have a 3-year warranty. Thermapen has 2-year warranty. All 3 of these claim to have up to 3,000 hours of battery life. The Thermapen claims to have 0.7 degrees Fahrenheit of accuracy. These are at 0.9. These are all water resistant, waterproof, enough to get by and do what we need them to do for the most part. But there are 2 things I did not touch on, and let me work towards the closing of this video with this. First, this thing doesn't have that built-in magnet, which I found very helpful on these 2. Thermapen MK4. Oh, you can get a silicone boot that goes around this thing, and it also glows in the dark, and it has a magnet built into the back. It will add an additional $14 to your purchase, so your all-in on this thing is going to be about $115. Okay, so that's part 1. But part 2 is, I've read reviews where the Thermapen gets really wonky really fast. Rare, but that's, reviews, right? You read good and bad and all that other stuff. This one, I've read that at certain temperatures it reads okay, but then after a few months of usage or whatnot, the temperature starts, flying all over the place. Can be 5 degrees off, 10 degrees off, 50 degrees off. I've never had that issue, whether it is a ice bath or it is temping a brisket about 200 degrees. They've been on par with my Signals alarm probe thermometers, with all of these things, with I also use a ThermoPro, I don't know the names off the top of my head, but all of those different transmitters, it's been consistent. So I have not had a problem with this one. but I want to do something really quick here. Just have a little fun with this. This little concoction right here is a customized mixture of water and ice. I don't know why I said that. I'm just trying to be funny. Hopefully you found it funny. I found it funny. I'm entertained. But what's more entertaining is what I'm about to try and do here. Okay, so I'm gonna try and move this right here under this camera so we can get both kind of footages. All right, so right now, oh, this isn't going well already. So as an ambient temperature probe, we're all a little bit off, aren't we? So 71 degrees on the Thermapen, 71.2 on the TP19H here, and then my tried and true, you're reading a little hot, man. Maybe that's why my brisket was so dry. Okay, here we go. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to hold it just like this, and I'm gonna drop it in the ice bath. And then, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like slow-mo the video, but I wanna see how they respond to this ice bath in 3, 2, 1. Wait, I can't see what I'm doing though. All right, let me try something else. Okay, so I don't think that was a good test because the probes didn't all get to go into this ice bath here at the same depth. But now that I'm keeping the probes pretty close to each other, as you can see, Thermapen's at 37, 36. I mean, it's all kind of dancing along the same lines, right? And again, this is not going to be a super duper accurate test because I'm not getting the probes down all into the same place. Anywho, so this is what I'm taking away from that little ice bath thing. It wasn't a really good test, but in looking at it, I'll tell you right off the bat, when I look at those kind of different like temperature fluctuations, there's a part of me that just goes, if I have to put my bet on which one is the most accurate, I'm gonna go with the Thermapen, right? Like if it matters that much to be within that, 0.5 or that 1 degree, I'm not gonna mess around with it. I'm gonna go with the Thermapen. But for me, the way I cook, I'm not a competition cook, I'm not a professional chef or whatever it is. For 99% of the cooks, if it wasn't down to that 1 degree, this ThermoPro TP19 for 30 bucks, it's gonna do the trick every single time. I would still go with it, but choice is yours. Tell me what you think. Are you someone who doesn't mind just splurging a little bit more and just, having that, I don't know, kind of that peace of mind knowing that you have the most accurate and the best thermometer pen out there? Or are you like me? You're a little okay with just, pocketing the 60 bucks. Or 70 bucks actually. Actually no, with the silicone boot it's like 80 bucks. Jeez. Keeping your $80 and then having an accurate enough reading, or you're just like, I want something accurate and I'm also after a really, 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 really good deal. If you have any questions on any of these thermometers or something I said or shared, feel free to just drop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Would love if you could like this video, subscribe to the channel, support us if you can, and until next time, who's smoking? Okay, we're gonna do a very quick field test here. First is the ThermoPro TP19, TP19H, Thermapen MK4. Oh.